Mastermind Tuesday, inspiration. Here we go. Tonight, I just want to go over, why we're all here, why we're doing an online business, what really gives us that motivation every day, what really allows us to continue to go through this journey and, this long road, and, what our ultimate goal is at the end, once we really find that breakthrough, what is it you want, and how do you plan on getting there? And what are you going to do once you get there? Are you just going to kind of settle for it, or are you going to continue to strive to be greater? And that's really what this masterminding is tonight, just sharing, techniques, ideas, and overall what your vision is, for your future and what you want in your life. So just want to welcome Tana Shea. She just got on here.
Hi
So
guys.
how's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys tonight? I'm super excited to see Sky. How are you? Tessa, I knew you were gonna hop on. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Honor of you guys.
Great to see
Thank
you
you very
again.
much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you jumping on this. So where do you live in the U.S.? Yes,
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. Current.
Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to check the time because I mean, Tessa over there it's like 3 o'clock, and over here it's only 9. So I wasn't sure, but I
Yeah,
had
where are you at?
I live in New Hampshire.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'd
Yeah,
love to visit Dallas. I've never been to Texas. I heard it's a pretty cool spot, but
I like it. I really like it. You should
yeah.
definitely come check it out for
Are
sure.
you originally from there, or you moved there, or
I'm from Denver. I
Denver?
moved here about 10 months ago, but I
Oh
really like
wow.
it. Yeah.
Funny thing is, actually, I'm about to go to Fort Collins next month, with my girlfriend. We're going to visit her sister, and
Oh,
I'm so pumped because like Colorado, I heard is like unbelievably like just awesome. So
beautiful. Colorado is
yeah,
beautiful. Absolutely.
that's sweet. I want to visit Denver though. I have to go to the stadium. I have to do that. I want to go hiking, all that stuff. But
Yeah,
um,
Denver is definitely the best spot in Colorado. I mean, I'm biased because
yeah,
I'm from there, but it's super cool. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's not just a bias statement.
yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, cool, cool. No, everyone talks about Colorado and they just rave about it. So I have to imagine it's pretty cool. But
Yeah, awesome.
yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and get this started. I kind of just messaged you and was curious, how this all came about for you, more or less. Not necessarily your results, but I guess what really brought you into wanting to do an online business. What's your goals? What's your passion? What's your ultimate vision?
So I got started online about 2 years ago. And at that point in my life, I was doing assembly style workshops for children, teaching them personal development skills and self-healing techniques and all this really, really cool stuff. And it was really awesome. I love children. They're so much more receptive than we are. It's so much easier to work with them than it is to work with results or work with adults because they don't have like the same barriers up. They don't have the walls up. They don't have the resistance up. They just kind of know this stuff, and all you really have to do is gently remind them, and they just get it. And I absolutely loved it. And one day during a workshop with Don Miguel Ruiz, sorry, um, who wrote the Four Agreements. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I
I was
haven't.
asking him when he's going to come out with a children's book because I would love to use some of his material with the children that I work with. And he was like, well, I'm not. I'm never going to do that because children will always revert back to the level of indoctrination of their parents.
Hmm.
He's like, you have to change it from the base. If you teach them all this cool stuff and they go back home to their parents, and their parents don't get any of this information, um, the children are still going to be dealing with that every single day, you know? And so I was like, okay, so I need a way to be able to work with adults that is going to be global, that's going to leverage my time, and that's going to give me the resources that I need to be able to impact the world in the way that I want to. In the way that I want to, and for me to be able to live my life in the way that I want to. Because working with the school system and nonprofits in general, there's so much red tape, and it's all politics, and it's so hard to deal with. And for someone like me at that time, I was trying to do everything I could in my power to just avoid money. to just try to bypass the whole money process. It's actually why I started working in that capacity, because I didn't want people to have to pay me for what I was going to give them. I wanted to just be able to give freely and, have the government pay me, have grants pay me, and that sort of thing. But it ends up being so much more, and you're actually, anytime you try to avoid money, you're completely controlled by it, because you're doing everything based off of the resistance and the reaction to money. So everything you do is based off trying to push it away, right? So I was scrolling through my Facebook news feed, and I seen this post from Avram, and I think they had just had their first $40,000 month at that point, which, you know, income disclaimer, results not typical. Obviously typical people don't make $40,000 in a month. That's just not something that, 99% of the population does. But I had known Abram from other work that we had done together. We did a fire walk together. I had taken, some of his classes here and there. And I was like, well, this dude's really cool, and I knew that he was really authentic, and I knew that if this was something that he was doing, because he was so like me, he just wanted to help people, right? He just wanted to change the world. So I knew that if this was something that he was doing, it was legit. I knew that I could trust it because I knew that I could trust him. So I jumped in, and I just started pushing my limits. I started rubbing up against the edges of my reality right away. And, my life's been kind of magical ever since then. Working from home, especially online where you can leverage yourself, it's not so much about the money, really. I mean, the money's cool, and having, making your monthly income in a day is really cool, because that kind of just shifts everything for you. But it's really about what you can do with the time that you have, because you're not, basing your whole life off of money anymore. So it's been really cool to just see what is possible, and to push those limits, and to be able to hop on hangouts and stuff like this with people that I've never met in person before, and share my whole life and be like, how can I contribute to your life? Like, how can we do something together? How can we create more in the world? Like, what else is possible?
That's sweet. That's inspirational right there. I mean, I feel like I can relate to you on so many levels because that's exactly like how I feel. I mean, I do civil engineering, and my own reasoning behind that was just wanting to give back to the community, give back to society, building roads, building bridges. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't about the money. It was more or less just having fun doing it because I was passionate. I went to college just, wanting to do something different than the norm. Most people go to school, they go to for business or liberal arts or something of that nature, and I knew I wanted to do something because I was pretty good at math, and so I did that, and I graduated, and it's been a good time. But at the same time, like you said, it's a really good thing you say is like your time's valuable, and you only have so much. And I feel like there's so much I want to do out there and help people, and so much more than just building roads and building bridges. I want to give back to society and allow them to realize that there's more in life than just working a 9 to 5 job and settling for that. When, like you said, if you can make, your month's, income in a day, I mean, that's shorter than a time capsule, and that really is just really leveraging yourself, and the sky's the limit there. And that really is what attracted me to this opportunity. And I haven't been in it as long as you have. I mean, it's probably been close to maybe 8 months, 9 months at this point, and I'm loving it because it's really shown me so far like that I thought I was a certain person, but I'm completely different than that. And it's like, holy mackerel, like, like you're so much better than what you thought you were, and you have so much to give back. And and that's really where I mean I am right now. Is like, we had that webinar this past weekend, and I wasn't planning on joining. I really wanted to, see what Avery had to offer. And from the moment I got on there to the moment he stopped talking, like I felt the vibe the entire time. And Tessa, just naturally always, offers opportunities to us and her other groups. And I was like, you know what? In the past, I haven't really necessarily clicked on it. And I was like, you know what? This is probably something I really should get on. And I was like, she's very passionate about it. I might as well do the same. And I'm one to read off other people's passion. If someone's passionate about it, it's because it's for an important reason. They like it, it means something, and you should probably, take interest in it. And so that's what I did. And he really reached out and, talking about resistance, like you said, you wanted nothing to do with money. You figured people could just give you money, through the government. And, you realize, how much time it was taking and just overall, the practicality of it. It wasn't going to work for you because you value your time. And that's really what it boils down for me is I value my time. And, I'm pretty young right now, and it's just like there's so much out there that I want to do. And at the same time, I just want to give back to society massive value, everything I'm learning, and just know that when way down the road, I left behind a legacy, And so that's why I am here today is because Avram kind of talked about resistance and, it's everywhere, and it's up to you to really control that inner energy. And, I feel like that's been my biggest issue thus far. I've found success online to some degree, but not nearly what I would consider a breakthrough. Because he said, you got a suntan, you might go on a webinar or you might go to an event and it all hits you. And that's what's happened to me probably numerous times now. And all of a sudden some negativity comes in and you just start thinking outside the box, like, oh, is this really for me or is this just another thing? And I can't tell you how many times that's happened, but it's happened. And until this past weekend, I really realized what I was doing to myself. I was pretty much keeping myself from my future, preventing myself from happiness, and preventing myself from ultimately what I desire and what I deserve. And that's really why I joined this. And again, I think my ultimate issue is resistance. And just from these challenges alone, what he's presented and what you said tonight has literally opened my eyes to what is real, what's possible, and really what is about to happen for me. And I can't thank you enough for getting on here tonight because not only you but Tessa, she so inspirational. I mean, she stays up till like 3, 4 in the morning and she's just crushing it with the business. Here I am, doing what I can within reason, and I'm saying within reason, yeah, but it's just like she's doing all that and you're doing what you do, and it's like, wow, like I really need to step up my game and
Yeah.
really be all in and just be clear with my vision and know that I deserve it and that it's going to happen. And that's really what I wanted to do tonight, guys, is just talk about what our vision is, what we want, how do we get to where we are right now, and what is our plan for the future. And I don't know, Tessa, you haven't really spoken yet, but I don't know if you wanted to kind of add into that. But it's really inspirational just hearing your guys talk about that because it motivates me. So Tessa, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, sometimes I know a lot to say. Right now, I don't know what to say right now.
I
I'm
have a
just
couple things
listening.
to say, Tessa. Um, you had mentioned that you've seen her post in groups and stuff before, but you hadn't really clicked on it until recently, until now. That's one of the things that really stuck out to me with our last Inspiration experience that we just went through is that Tessa started out a little shy and a little reserved and a
Yeah.
little like she was turning her light down just a little bit and didn't want to shine too much, not too much. She didn't want to hurt anybody's eyes. And now she's just exploded into a million suns, and people are really starting to step up and recognize her and see her for who she is and respond. Like she is commanding that energy from the universe. She created her audience, and now people are starting to see her, to actually really see her, look at her, acknowledge her, and be willing to receive her. And I think that that's why you were able to see her. That's why you clicked on that link now, is because she's commanding that energy now. And that's just one of the things that has been, it's really stuck out to me with
Mm.
Tessa's transformation over this past 8 weeks and moving forward.
Now that's really, again, that's inspirational, and again that's exciting for me, on the outside looking in to some degree because you guys have already gone through this once. This is your second round again, which that's awesome. I mean, to know that you
Yeah,
got so much out of it one time to be like, yo, I'm gonna do it again because there's something I'm missing that's gonna really get me to that next big
true.
breakthrough.
There
And
there were some challenges, or what do you call it? Challenges we had to do. I didn't do the first time, and now because I completed like all the challenges, especially week 8, so look forward to that. Because I completed that, I look different to all the previous stuff. I'm like, why didn't I do that? That's so easy to do. So I'm going to do things and take it to the next level. I have a plan already in mind what I'm going to do tomorrow with a challenge, and I'm going to post that in our special group. And tomorrow I'm going to make some money
Love
for
it.
sure, for sure. I'm going
I
to make some
actually
money
made some
tomorrow.
today. It felt pretty good. I got to post that,
Awesome.
but
Yeah, post
yeah,
that.
yeah, I
Share your
definitely will.
results.
It's I I uh I was pretty iffy. I'm not gonna lie. Hesitant last night. I think Avram's like just a really cool dude that I just like. He surprises me all of a sudden. Like I don't have known him that long, but even I almost feel like I do. But like yeah, last night though, he surprised me. Like I didn't know what I expected out of the challenges, but I knew I expected a transformation. I expected to be challenged, but I guess I didn't understand or really, I guess, have a good guess as to what he was going to have us do. And so like last night when he kind of introduced that, it was like, holy crap, like this is legit, because never in my life would I dream of just randomly being like, hey, like you should pay me some money kind of deal, like I never felt that self-worth that, my value and who I am, that people would pay me for what I do and just for being me, and that's basically what he's saying is that money's out there, there's abundance of it, you just have to claim it. You just have to go and ask for it, and it's that. And that, like to me, was like crazy because I'm working in another mentor group, and I've learned a lot from it. But I've never been, no disrespect to whoever is following this, but I've never been challenged in that manner. And so that was very eye-opening to me because that literally is the one, like the first step into really getting you to your breakthrough is having you do things you've never done before. Because that kind of is the difference between someone that is just in it for the time and that the people that are actually in it for the future and for the lifetime and that want to make their life out of that. And I think that I finally am understanding like that this is really what I want to do, and I just have to push through, and I will. And it just, oh man, I'm so excited. I can't even put into words. But hey, Sky, I know you're on here, and I know we're talking some inspiration. Hey, you getting any inspiration out of this? Or
Absolutely, man. I mean, from what you guys have just been talking about here, I mean, there's definitely some golden nuggets. So you guys better be paying attention with your notebooks out. You just got to pick them up as they go along because they're just getting dished out left and right. But yeah, with this inspiration thing, guys, it seems like it ultimately boils down to putting yourself through resistance. And really, that's a beautiful thing because if there's something that I've learned throughout everything that I've gone through up until this point of my life, it's because I've gotten here through the resistance. I decided to push through. And basically, that's the message that we want to share out to you guys tonight is that when you find a point of resistance, don't turn away from it. Head towards it and just keep arrowing through it because when you have a desperation that's strong enough, you'll break down walls with your forehead, literally. It doesn't matter what type of resistance it is, you can overcome it, period. And that's, I think, one of the main things that I see inspiration really driving home and what the foundation behind it, like the mindset behind it, is putting you in front of the challenges that you need to go through in order to get to the next level, whatever that may be. And that's really what I see behind it. But it's awesome regardless because you get to go out and meet people like here on this panel. I'm Skyrocket, by the way. I'm out here in Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. I got to meet up with Tana J out in Las Vegas. That was an awesome experience. I work hand in hand here with Tessa and Josh, and we mastermind constantly. We got our own Facebook group going. These are awesome guys, and I love learning and connecting with these people, and that's really what it's all about here. So that's my 2 words that I like to put in. Thanks for that, Josh.
absolutely, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And it's good to hear, like, from you being outside looking in as to what we're doing and me, again, I'm being at the low end of the totem pole, but, just seeing what you're saying, like, it really resonates with me because so far that's what I've really seen in this group is that no matter the challenge, there's always going to be resistance. Are you willing to overcome that resistance to get what you want? Are you really willing to push yourself past the limit of comfortability so that you can have what you deserve? And that literally is what I've seen just from the webinar to right now. It's so real for me now. It makes sense, and that's I guess what I'm getting at tonight is just that I finally have figured out what my biggest fear is, what my biggest issue was with this, and now that I understand it, there's no turning back. It's just me, taking advantage of my opportunity and just running with it, and making sure that my vision's clear. And for anyone that's watching this right now, what we're getting at, guys, is that if you want something in life, whether it's an online business, whether it's to stay at home with your kids, whether it's to just make money online in general, there's going to be challenges. Nothing is easy in life. Nothing. And if you want something bad enough, you will overcome any challenge, anything, any obstacle in your way so that you can have what you deserve and what you want ultimately in life. And that's really what we're getting at tonight is that, you know, if you really want to make that next level money, you really want to get to that lifestyle where you have no financial burden, worry about how you're going to, pay the bills or, pay off your debt or whatever the case may be, and you want to live the lifestyle of staying at home, doing what you want to do on your own time and, no one else's time, not working for anybody but yourself, and having the ability to travel when you want. This is what we're talking about. You have to get over resistance. Joining a business or doing what you want to do in life. Maybe that's becoming a doctor, but you're going to challenge yourself. You're going to deal with a lot of things during that, and that's really what I want to drive home tonight. Is that's my biggest challenge, and it's probably pretty much everyone's challenge in life is resistance. There's always going to be something that's going to kind of sway you another way. Are you willing to stay focused enough, just enough to get past that point where you have your breakthrough and everything starts to align with you? And I just can't say thank you enough, Tanashay, for really kind of driving that early on, of how you've gotten to where you are because of that, being able to do that. And you, Tessa, as well. I mean, it's very evident. I can even attest to what you were saying, Tanashay, is that, Tessa was a little shy early on when I did meet her, and now it's like, you can't tell her she can't do anything. I mean, she's going to do it, and that is amazing. That is awesome, and that's the game changer right there. So, bravo to you, Tessa, for that. That's awesome. So,
Thank
um,
you.
and, and then now that I have, everyone on here, that I wanted to talk to tonight, Tana Shay, I guess I really ultimately want to know, these results you got, obviously they're not typical because you're not a typical person, and nobody typical out there will ever get these results. But what did it feel like when you had your breakthrough? And what exactly did you have to do to get to that point? Because
Okay,
if
cool.
I
Yeah,
recall correctly,
absolutely.
it happened very quickly.
Yeah, so within 24 hours of choosing the challenge or the experience of within 24 hours of choosing my breakthrough, because ultimately there's going to be a lot of people on here that are watching this. They don't know what we're talking about with Interaction, and actually they're not even able to join right now. Like, this is totally exclusive to us. There is no way for them to get into it right now, and maybe they want results right now, right? And so within you just have to choose it. You have to choose it. And a lot of people think that choice means a thought. I'm choosing to have something, so I think, I'm deciding that I want it. But choosing actually means you're going to have that no matter what that looks like. Do or die. You are going to do whatever it takes, no matter what. That's it, period. You're going to have that. So within, 24 hours of me choosing it, I made over $3,800. Which is really cool. Like, that's awesome. Again, another income disclaimer. That's not typical, whatever. But okay, so there's this word being thrown around on this hangout tonight, and it's a really interesting word, and that's resistance, right? And so what Sky said, I think, is very it's a very interesting way to look at it. He said there are so many different kinds of resistance, right? And that's true. That's true. There is the resistance like a hill, like you're running up a hill. And that's resistance that you choose. That's conditioning your body to get to the next level, right? So sometimes there's going to be resistance that comes up in your life, and it's going to feel like it's pushing you back, right? It's pushing you back down the hill. but you've chosen to get to that next level. And in order for you to get to that next level and sustain that next level, you need those muscles that you're building in your legs. So that resistance is actually there to help you. It's not pushing against you. It's helping you to create what you need to be when you reach that next level. And then there's also resistance that's like this terror barrier, right? Because you've never been there before. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard the story of when they broke the sound barrier, right? All these like pilots, and they're flying in planes, and they're getting right there to where they're about to break the sound barrier. No one's ever done it before. So right when they're hitting speed, they're about to hit Mach 1 or whatever that is. I don't know. I'm not a boy, so I don't know that stuff. Maybe that was a sexist statement. I don't know that stuff personally myself, whatever. And so the plane starts to shake, and panels are flying off of the plane, and every one of these pilots that was like, oh shit, I'm gonna die, and they pulled back at the last second, the resistance tore their plane apart, and they did die. But the one person that was like, I'm gonna do this no matter what. Whatever this looks like, whatever it takes from me, whatever I have to lose, whatever I have to give up, I'm pushing through this. He's the person that broke that sound barrier. And now people do it every day, right? So it's like a couple things from that story is, are you going to be the one who tears yourself apart because you pull yourself back? Or are you going to recognize that you're an infinite being, nothing can destroy you, and once you push through that, because you've done it, you're that example for anyone else in the world who needed that breakthrough as well. So because people see you do something, it frees every other person on this planet up to be able to accomplish the same thing that you do. And if that doesn't give every single person watching this the moral obligation and duty to live the life of their dreams, I don't know what else will. Because you could be the one person, the only one person for everyone that you meet to know that it's possible for them too. You could be that one person that your kids can see doing something greater so that they know it's possible for them too. And Sky just like totally turned into a light being for a second. Did you guys see that? That was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, so all that's like super awesome. I'm so glad that you're a part of this Inspiration thing too. Is because one of the reasons is because so we get into this like this place where we're doing all this personal development, and we're learning all this like law of attraction stuff, and like we can feel it, right? So you're in this place and you're like, wow, man, I know that stuff is shifting because I can feel it. I can feel it in my body. There's this sense of ease. There's a sense of peace to my life. I can feel it flowing to me. And you kind of sit there and you're like, but where is it? Right? Like, I know that I'm a $30,000 a month earner. Where is my $30,000 per month? Like, where is it? And what Inspiration does is there's something missing in that. There's something missing in that for everyone who's sitting there and they're like, man, I know I'm doing this right. Like, I know that I'm asking, believing, receiving. I know that I'm sitting here and I'm meditating and I'm putting all this stuff in my vortex and I'm creating this like amazing energetic life. But where are the physical results? And Inspiration bridges that gap. It adds the one missing component that's there and allows you to get immediate physical, tangible, material results. I don't know why I'm waving my credit card around. Must be Dave Wood in my soul, right? But so for anyone out there, if you're looking for something in your life, you don't know what it is, you want something greater, definitely hook up with one of us, because all of us have made that leap into choosing something greater. So definitely hook up with one of us. But before you even do that, just choose it. Just choose it. Just be willing to be that crazy ass person that goes around and tells people things that they don't believe. Because, yeah, there's going to be everyone else that's probably not on this hangout right now isn't going to believe that you can do it because they don't believe that they can do it, right? But once you step into that and you're willing to choose it, you can show them that it's possible. Because all those bitter, cynical people that tell you that that's stupid, that can't happen, like there is a sad little inner child in there somewhere that just got disappointed somewhere along the way, and they don't believe that they can do it. But by you doing it, you can show them that it's possible too. You know?
Absolutely. Wow.
Does that answer your question at all? A
Yeah,
little bit?
yeah, it does. Again, I'm probably really repetitive tonight, and I don't know why. I'm just stuck on literally like this whole resistance concept because you might find it so, simple to understand at this point, but like for me, this really has been, and I'm probably speaking for Sky too, because we're very similar in like where we're at, and I feel like our business is right now. But this really has been like the one thing that's been blocking my vision. Because I know what I want at the end of the day, and I know how I see my life in the future, and it's not where it is currently right now. But I know it's going to progress. I know it's going to be a successful one. I'm going to have a lot of fun, and I'm going to really be able to enjoy life and give back. But just what you said right there, it's making that decision and putting yourself into position to receive and knowing that you're going to feel uncomfortable. People aren't going to believe that you can do it. The only one that will do it and know that they can do it is yourself. And so you have to believe that, and you gotta, you know, let all the negativity out and absorb all the energy that you have in you, and let it allow you to receive the money that's out there and the opportunity, and just from there, I mean, that's really where your breakthrough starts to jive with you, and it starts to align, and things just start to add up and make sense. And I can only imagine when you had that 3-day success so quickly, um, the feelings that were going through you was probably ultimately you're overcoming a resistance, but ultimately you feeling the most energy you've ever felt in your life. I have to assume, but I don't know. I haven't had that breakthrough, but I'm going to assume that you finally were in touch with all the energy you possibly could have at that moment, and it's up to you now to, for you to receive that 30K a month that you want, to really get inclined with that peak moment of energy, because that's something that people can channel, but it's something they have to learn. And I feel like that's, when you look at people like Abraham and Nate O'Brien and all these, these successful gurus out there right now, I mean, it's because they've learned to channel that, and they've maintained that. And I think you're really like right there. I think you're really going to learn it quick, and the second time around, it's probably going to be that breakthrough for you. But
Yeah, it will.
yeah. Oh, there you go. There it is, right there. And that's just how it's going to be. You have, from what you're saying, you just have to know that it's going to happen. And I already know that this is going to happen for me, because I believe in myself. I believe in my self-worth, and I know that the best has not come yet, and that is right around the corner. And that's why I'm in this position, is because it's time for me to have my breakthrough. It's time for me to start living my life, not everyone else's life, my life. And I just want to say thank you for really putting that in perspective for me and for everyone on here, guys. If you're watching this closely, again, the topic of tonight has definitely been resistance, what it does for your life and how it can improve your life. And it's all upon, or based upon your decision to actually be successful and live your life. If you just are, okay with living life of going and a 9 to 5 job every day, and being on someone else's clock, then that's fine, and that's just what you're going to do for the rest of life. But if you want to strive for greatness, and strive to be able to help others do the same thing that you're doing, then that's when you're going to make that decision to overcome the resistance and get what you deserve in life. And I think that everyone on here is really trying to drive that concept home, and I'm really understanding it finally. So I just want to say thank you for everyone that's on here. Thank you, Sky. Thank you, Tinashe. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you for sharing all that you have tonight. It really has opened my eyes in so many ways, and I can't thank you enough. I didn't know if there was anything you wanted to add to that, Tinashe.
Yeah.
This is my first week ever. Maybe some words of inspiration, or some tips that I should take into consideration, but I'm all ears.
After you're done, Tanaja, I want to follow up on your last statement that you had there. So go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead first.
Okay, cool. Just from my experience, when I got started in the online industry, I was actually involved in an MLM company, and the reason I got involved in the online industry was because I recognized, I had awareness to the fact that people who are making five, six, seven figures per month have all the common similarities and keys to success that can apply to literally any business in any form in any industry. And I realized that there was common similarities to that, and that's what I was really looking for, and that's eventually what I found. And literally, with what Tana J said there back in her last statement, this is one of the common similarities that I found, and I've heard it talked about a lot. You making the decision to allow yourself to succeed, you giving yourself permission in your own mind to say, okay, it's time for you to step up to that next level and step up and start making the money that you deserve. It's really tearing the borders down in your mind and realizing that you actually did at some point or another set a limit on yourself and it needs to be removed. So guys, give yourself permission to succeed. It's a great common key to success that I found, and Tana J blatantly pointed out right there on why she had her best month, wasn't it?
Best month online, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, her best month online. She allowed herself to succeed. So that's what I wanted to put in there, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's like just from what I've seen in the last month especially, um, wherever you are in your life right now, that is exactly where you're holding the most value. So there is something that you believe that you're going to lose when you get to that next level that is more valuable to you than whatever you think is at that next level, right? So there are two ways that you can go about changing that. If you have the top producer formula in module 2, is it the top producer? I think it's top producer. In module 2, there's the beliefs and attitudes. It's like the whole module's on beliefs and attitudes, right? And so you can, go through all of that and you can break down, what's not working for you, why you haven't allowed yourself to reach that next level, why you're holding yourself back, what you're placing so much value on that you won't allow yourself to get to that, right? And you can go through that and break down all of your different beliefs and, reassure yourself that you're probably not going to lose anything but all the bullshit that you're dealing with, right? I often tell people that, all you have to give up to have everything you want is everything you don't want, right? Life is usually either win-win or lose-lose. All these people that work so much harder than us, to be completely honest, they work so much harder than us, they make so much less money than us, they have so much less time than us, right? And that's like, it's a lose-lose situation. Nobody really wins there. And then here we are with all the time freedom, all the money that we want to make, right? And it's win-win. So you can go about that, and really figure out what's holding you back and pinpoint it and get really, really clear on it, and then, reverse those beliefs, dispel them. And that's one of the best processes I've ever seen for that. And I've been doing personal development work and coaching and doing, all of that stuff for a really long time. Or you can say, fuck this, I'm not staying here. I don't care what I have to lose. I don't care if I die. I don't care if whatever. Like, I don't care if the fucking world ends today. I am choosing this because I deserve it. And I'm finally going to step into it. And you can say fuck it. And you can really, really choose it. And choose to let go all of that bullshit, and it'll happen in an instant. Right? But you have to be really, really willing. You have to be really, really willing. I think that's why, 50 Cent, he named his album and his movie Get Rich or Die Trying, because you have to have that level of reckless abandon. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes, whatever that looks like, no matter what, and step into that, right? And another thing I wanted to say was, yeah, when I've definitely felt throughout this experience that I have had more of myself available to me more of my energy, more access to who I am as an infinite being present during this experience and throughout this experience. But it wasn't intense or overwhelming, or it wasn't anything that felt bigger than me. It was if I felt more natural than I've ever felt in my entire life. Another way that resistance has been described to me is like holding a cork underwater, right? So you're holding yourself down, you're holding yourself with all of these beliefs about how you can't do it, how you're not good enough, how that's too much for you and you don't deserve that much, and all this shit, right? All this shit that's not true, that's piled on top of us. And it's like we're this little cork and we're holding ourselves underwater. And when we finally just let go, we can float to the top. We get to be who we truly are. We get to have the unlimited resources that are truly our birthright, abundance as our birthright. And that's our natural state of being. So once you're able to just breathe and let yourself go, that's when you'll float to the surface. That's when you'll have your breakthrough. And I feel like that's definitely what happened to me. But I feel like exactly where you are, where I was just like, yeah, it's just my time. It's been long enough. I'm ready for it. So let's go. And I was just willing to step into it. And I think that, you creating this hangout tonight and being able to reach out and say, hey, like, I saw what you did and that was cool, and like, I want to do that too. So how can I do it? Right? And now you're already actively doing it. You're here. You created this. I didn't create this. You created this. And we're all here because of it. I think that's super awesome. And I can totally see you having your breakthrough. Like, I don't think there's any other way.
Absolutely. Wow. That's awesome. I really, thank you so much. I definitely need to hear that. I've been doing online business, like I said, for some months now. And there's definitely some down days. There's definitely days where you start to think like you don't deserve this. You're not good enough. You'll never be good enough. That's too much money. It's just not possible. You start to second guess yourself, and it's all resistance, but you don't look at it as resistance until you realize what actually resistance is. And the different forms, like Sky said and what you said earlier, and now it's all becoming clear that if I want to say this, I'm going to say it this way. What I'm really seeing resistance is the old you that is trying to fight against the up and coming brand new you. The person that wants to really come outside of you, that has always been inside you, but you've never let out, and now it's finally trying to flow up to the surface and become noticed. And your old self is like, oh, hell no, like, you can't do that. You are you, and you'll never change. And it's up to that new being of yourself, that successful person that you see yourself and you know yourself as to be, to say, nope, I'm not that person anymore. I'm better, but I've learned from that, and this is where I'm going with that. And I really see that being what ultimately is resistance, is you really allowing that new person inside you, that person that's always been there, but now has blossomed and is ready to see the day of light. See that new side, that new feeling of refreshness. Being able to breathe. Not being underwater anymore, feeling that suffering that you have to worry about working paycheck to paycheck or whatever the case may be. And I think you really hit it home, tonight, is that, just your attitude towards it, realizing that if you're going to do this, stop second guessing, stop thinking about it, just do it and do it well, and never look back, and know that when you do this, it is going to happen. And that's really what I've come to an agreement with, is that I am deciding to do this, and this will happen for me, and I can't take no for an answer. So again, I guess I didn't really realize, me doing this hangout was really a big deal, but it is because that's me showing my interest and my passion and allowing that to, be known more or less. And you guys actually showing, interest in it was just amazing. It's just what I needed to really get this week going, especially with this new challenge. Um, I've never, dealt with a challenge like this before, but I'm embracing it. I know I'm going to conquer it, and that by the end of this week, I will have made a lot more money, and I will have made a huge adjustment in my life. So I just want to say thank you guys for everything. I really do appreciate it. Everyone's input tonight, it's been great. I hope, even if you guys have had your breakthrough, you've learned something maybe from, one of us tonight, as to how to perceive life or just, taking other people's opinions on things. And anyone that's watching this outside of, my panel guest, I hope this is something that's eye-opening for you, something you've been really needing to hear, to maybe get you that promotion in your career, or maybe get you to quit your job and realize that you're worth more than a 9-to-5 job. Maybe that's what it is. But hopefully tonight you guys have realized that resistance holds you back from everything in your life. And when you make the decision to overcome that resistance, overcome those obstacles that will face you day in, day out, you will always, always be successful, and you'll always come out the winner. You'll always come out on top. And I think that's really what I want to wrap up this conversation tonight. I don't know if anyone else had anything else to say, but I really, really appreciate what was said tonight. It really hit home. You answered everything I really wanted to know, Tanashay and Tessa and Sky. You guys, awesome. I think there's one last thing, actually, now that I come to think of it. With these challenges, is there a certain strategy, or is it just doing you? I mean, I guess I'm really wondering what strategy might be um, most beneficial, with this. Is it
Just
something,
be yourself and do whatever comes to your mind. That worked for me the best.
Okay.
I did some crazy things nobody else did because I,
Yeah,
I, I made it myself.
Mm.
right.
You will
And
you will
Tessa totally kicked ass too, so.
you will find out, and it will get to you. And if not,
Absolutely.
other people will inspire you.
Perfect.
I
Perfect.
actually have one
Perfect.
more thing to add. I don't know if you're ready to receive it or not yet. Are you ready to receive it? Do you want me
Oh, I
to?
sure am.
Okay, cool. So, you had mentioned that it's like the resistance that you're feeling is like letting go of your old identity, right? Who
Mm,
you have believed yourself to be in the past, and you really feel that like pull to like, no, you're not changing, right? So I think I hear people talk about that as the ego a lot or whatever, and like it'll like hold on to you like really, really good, right? Well, there's a few things, and one of them you're probably already doing just with your 8 core commitments. And Aaron Rashkin talked about this recently, that like part of reprogramming your subconscious mind and your identity, right? Your self-image, like Maxwell Maltz calls it in psychocybernetics. A really good way to do that, because we're listening to audios like all the time, watching videos, right? But when you read, it's your voice that you're hearing.
mm,
So you're becoming the expert to your own mind. So you're hearing yourself in a new way then, right? You're hearing yourself in these new inspiring, like maybe a little bit above where you are currently, because these are new concepts to you, right? So you become the expert in your own mind, and it's a way to develop that level of discipline or self-respect, that like, no, I'm choosing now. Like I'm becoming more consciously aware, and I don't need my subconscious mind to always choose my habits and stuff for me. Like I'm choosing now, right? And then there's actually a challenge that's specifically designed and actually really, really, really helped me step into this. Just completely being who I know myself to be, right? Just complete this a whole like 180. So I think that's like week 3 or week 4. So look forward to that. And maybe what really, really helped me too, probably about a year ago, is listening to subconscious reprogramming audio at night while I slept. That's something that Paul Gardner suggested to me when we did, like, we flew out to Dallas when I didn't live here and went to this Bob Proctor thing, and I was really feeling a lot of resistance at that time. I wasn't doing the things I knew I needed to do, and I'm like, why the hell am I not doing this stuff? Like, I know it already. Why am I not doing it? And that really helped me. So I'll shoot you a quick message after this and send you like all the different ones that I listened to and what has really helped me. But that's been really beneficial.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. I actually was gonna ask one of you guys tonight about that. I've been listening to Nikki's money meditation like for the past 2 or 3 nights, and that's been really cool. And I definitely am waking up a little different. Like, I don't know, I feel different. I don't know if that's because of that or just what, but I feel a lot more awake in the morning when I'm getting up, and I really need to listen to it more, my body and what it's telling me. But I almost feel like I'm on a mission when I'm waking up now. Like I have something to do and accomplish. It's weird, but it's awesome at the same time because I think, and I want to believe, and I will believe that this is the start of where I break through and everything starts to align with me. And you know, I pray to God every day, you know, and thanking Him for all that He does for me. And I always pray that He aligns me with my true identity and what I deserve in life. And I think really things are starting to shape for me. And I'm so appreciative of the people I've met thus far in this journey. And again, I can't say it enough, but thank you so incredibly much, you know, everyone on here, for just sharing everything that you have, and just being you, you know, because that's the most important thing at the end of the day is just being yourself and not caring what others have to say or think about you. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Awesome. Well, I'm probably going to shut this broadcast down, but thank you guys that are watching this right now as well, and hopefully that you start to make that journey for yourself and start to, you know, have that mindset and change your life for the better and start today. Don't start tomorrow, start today and really change your life and make that decision that, you know, you're going to live the life that you've always wanted and no one's going to tell you differently, and there's no turning back, and the time is now. So again, thank you everyone on here. Thank you for all my guests, and I hope you guys have a blessed night. God bless.
Bye, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Take care, Sky. Bye, Tessa.
Bye bye.
Have a great night.